Hello, I am Quachin King. You had to be at least 45 years and older. Spit going. Okay, this is part three of. I done forgot what the name. What I put. I'm saving all these videos. But anyway, I think the first video I started out, acting like Greasy Adams. I forgot what I did on. I've done fucking it all up probably, but Quachin King. Oh, excuse me. That was another popular TV show that I remember and like was one of my favorites as a wee lad. It was Kung Fu with David Carradine. Look, anyway, all right. I'm gonna finish my. I'm try to remember something very important that happened today, or it's happened a lot of times in the past on Facebook or off of Facebook. You know, hence that's why I came up with that. What I'm kind of proud of saying, you know, it ain't that little house on the prairie anymore. The world is becoming more and more the devil's domain. It is. Anyway, man. So I think this is the third video, part three. Uh, and it pertains to a lot of what I went through today, but actually through the whole week, and then some. Considering the world, when I came with that saying, it ain't that little house on the prairie anymore. The world has become more and more the devil's domain. That's why I'm wanting to do this video too, especially because of that aspect. It ain't that little house on the prairie anymore, man. And I discussed, I think, in the first or second video that, Facebook ain't used to be. Back in the good old days, Facebook, everybody, a lot of communication. We play games. It's a lot of fun, man. It ain't shit nowadays. You know what I'm saying? People don't communicate. Facebook is just something people like reading the news or watching a movie. They ain't nobody communicates. They're just watching. You know what I'm saying, man? Y'all know y'all feel me on that, man. But anyway, there was a lot of things I was wanting to discuss. Not only about how Facebook is nowadays, but I'm talking about the whole world in general. It's really sad, man. And I'm pretty sure I said it in the first and or second video, this being the third one. As I said, I got saying it ain't that little house on the prairie anymore. The world is becoming more and more the devil's domain. And I think the second one I discussed that I'm an empath. Empaths are rare. I think I just done discussed that part. Empaths are, an empath is somebody that's, they're good listeners to people, and they're also good speakers. That empaths, they say, it even says that it's a supernatural aspect to it. Empaths are good at not only being a good listener, but they're good at helping people by talking to them. There is a supernatural aspect. I ain't saying that trying to, sound better than everybody, When I read about it, and my psychiatrist told me what an empath, they said, they told me I was an empath. And I didn't know what the fuck an empath was, and my social worker too, or something like that. They said I was, and I studied it, and I said, and it made perfect sense, because when I read about it, I said, yeah, I am like that, I'm good at people. I do treat others the ways I would want to be treated. You understand? And I kind of agree when they tell me usually a lot of times if people had a rough childhood, or but they still, there's so much to it, man, and there is a supernatural aspect to it. Empaths are good people. They're good with helping people. Uh, you know, they got a big heart, and it usually is. I think it is. They've had a rough childhood. It is angelic, you know. And when I found out that I was an empath, unfortunately, I have been in jail, a couple of times since I found out a long time ago from my psychiatrist and psychologist. You know, uh, you know how black people say, "You feel me?" And he smacked me in the head like, I can relate to that. Empaths are like it. But it's deeper, man. Uh, Empaths it is true that they're good with not only listen to other people, they're good at helping them. They'll, good, you know what I'm saying? I've had many people, not only females, but men, full grown men, man, tell me man to man. I said, Rooster, man, like, like you fucking great, man. You're a great fucking friend. You fucking one in a million, bro. And I'll go ahead and tell you an example. Probably ain't too many people of y'all know. I know a couple of y'all do. Jason Caraway, Saudi Daisy. Me and him used to be good buddies. Jason Caraway, he's the fella, he's the one that, he lived in Saudi Daisy. He's the one that had the rebel flag painted on his barn, and you could see it from Saudi Daisy, and Hamilton County made them take it down, made them paint over it. And I said, what? Because it's supposedly, the red flag is not really racist. It's just, anyway, whatever. And they made them paint over it, and anyway, Jason Caraway, he's one crazy, bleep, bleep. And crazy. And he loves me. He kind of looked up to me, but he get on my nerves, man. He's fucking crazy. Like a small example, back when I lived at this other place, I had guinea pigs, and he'd get up and he'd, lift up, and I said, man, he knows I would knock his fucking ass out. He's a fucking punk, but I loved him, man. But anyway, he's fucking crazy. He ended up dying, man. I can tell you some stories about not 30 hours of that. He used to have a donkey. He kept tied up, and it apparently made a lot of noise. Somebody shot it, man, because it made too much noise, and he got drunk and was going up and down the street. Who the fuck killed my mule? He got drunk. It's kind of like a dog to him, like he pet. He loved it. Understandable. But yeah, he was good. I miss him, dude, sometimes. Jason Caraway. But anyway, why'd I bring his name up for? I brought his name up because, speaking of the aspect of me being an empath, what my psychologist told me, psychiatrists and empaths, I didn't know what an empath was. Empaths are good listeners. They're good at helping people. They feel more, like a black man says, I feel you. And empath is like that, but more, empath is supernatural, it's a beautiful thing, though. I am good. I guess that is right, 'cause with my memory, that's where I found out I was an empath. Empaths, they can feel more, and they are good with people. It is somewhat supernatural. I think I said in one of the videos before this, and I am good. I'm a good listener, good with talking to people. I've been told that many times, not only by females, but dudes. Roddy, you fucking straight up cool, man. I love you, man. You know what I'm saying? Even I've had some, this angelic, just, I don't know if I told you, but yeah, Jason Caraway, did I say that? I got on him, man. He's crazy, man. Man, he just laughed and, well, I think I done said that. He goes, Rodney, he was I think he opened up his darkest secret and told me about it or something like that, or something. And I always remember him telling me this, man. He goes, Rodney, Rooster. That's my nickname, Rooster. It's been one of my nicknames for a long time. He goes, Rooster. He looked at me, man. He goes, man, you're an angel, man. I said, nah. I said, I ain't no angel, man. He goes, nah, you're an angel, man. I said, all right, if you say so. And I do miss Jake. I miss him sometime, man. He's fucking crazy. Anyway, speaking as an empath, I'm just using that as an excuse, one of an excuse of what I myself discovered what empaths are. Empaths are good with people. They're good listeners, and it is supernatural, angelic. I didn't know what an empath was, but it all makes sense now. And I've helped. He ain't the only one I've helped. I've had, not only females, but dudes, man. Hey, I've had dudes like Jason Calloway's other dude, man. Man, Rooster, you straight up cool, buddy. Anyway, something else. I got so much of that's why I'm doing these videos. I want to share it and keep it saved, because it's very, I'm speaking as a Christian. It ain't that I'm tooting my own horn, hey, look at me. I'm just saying this. I'm as a human being. Parts of my life, that I'm very, I say proud as egotistic, but very proud by the grace of God as a Christian, of who I am. I'm happy and touched and still have memories for people, they admit that to me, that tell me that, and from hearing that from other people, that's something new to me. Just from what kind of like I grew up, without a father, and having to witness my mother get the crap bit out of her, and I guess that's just what I'm trying to say, that it's a child in my child's heart, growing up. Not having the normal love as most people have, whatever, or the one like Jason Carraway, we can relate to each other, because we grew up without a father, or grew up with whatever, man. And it all hit me, smacked me in the head. Not only Jason Carraway, which I loved, and even when I was in Silverdale, people, we grew up breaking the law or whatever. And you meet people, especially in jail or prison, whatever, mini prison. You understand? I think I said that, you feel me? Like, that's what black people say, you feel me? Well, I can relate to that, and I got my nickname, the Rooster, from fighting, on the streets and or the aspect of it, and I can't remember if I had a fight. I ain't think I've ever had a fight. I've tackled, we never did hit, but anyway, in Silverdale, I've always treated everybody. I've never been racist. Black people respected me, man. I can't remember if I got the nickname. I think I got the nickname Rooster in Silverdale. I'm almost certain, yeah. Anyway, black people, they respect me, man. I didn't have no fear, and I wasn't afraid to fight. I treat others the way I want to be treated, man. I don't care how big you are. Well, I take that back. There's some guys in there, man, that like gorillas, and their arms had bone balls, the size of a bone ball. But anyway, I'm just saying, for the most part, with me being, I treat others as I would want to be treated. I'm just telling you, I can relate to a black person. I grew up, poor, man. I grew up in projects, first 18 years of my life, and I went through what they went through, man. I don't go around getting in the gang and killing people, or I'm just telling you who the fuck I am, man. And black folks, prisoners, they respected that. They know, they feel me. They say that, you feel me? Uh, you know, I do got that attitude. I'm a good person, but there is, I got different people in my mind, man, in my heart. That's why, that's how, how I found out, going to psychiatrists and psychologists, that, you know, uh, I got me into problems. I got bipolar personality disorder, in other words, uh, you know, I want to try and spit out, man. But I'm a good person, man. I'm saying I can relate to. I had a rough childhood, man. Having to witness my mom get the fuck bed out of her, man, and blood and everything. My mother, she a lot of times she take me to stay at my grandmother's house. Her boyfriend is there, man, with the possibility. Well, they probably wouldn't have some a long time, but she knew the possibility. How he was, man, abusing her, man. I could tell you stories on and on that, man, where mom, her boyfriend come pick me up, grandma running back and forth, locking the doors. I could talk for a week, I enjoy, I ain't trying to show off, it's just, excuse me, and it's angelic to me. It gives me tingles right now. It ain't that I'm trying to show off like I'm bad, I'm just saying, it's a beautiful thing, it ain't that I'm, you know what I'm saying? I feel like I'm a biblical person. How back in the day, when they wrote the Bible, God moved through people. And Jesus Christ was a real man. That had supernatural power, was the Son of God. He died on the cross for sin. Anyway, hold on, man. I'm just saying that as a full-grown man now from childhood, that I'm a humble person. I'm just telling you the truth that I want y'all to be adults and respect it. As I'm respecting you all. I ain't telling you things to say, hey, look at me, I'm tough. I went through some bad time. I'm telling you as a Christian, angelic wise, or by the grace of God, there's an example, Anyway, I got so much stuff runs in my mind. Anyway, I mean, I do got mental disorder. I'm bipolar, got personality disorder, and from a bad childhood, whatever. And, anyway, fast forward, Jason Caraway. Oh, yeah, I think I done told you that. Yeah, he's crazy, man. He's the one that had the rebel flag on his barn. I was using that aspect with me being, and then past, I've had a lot of people come up to him. I noticed that being an empath, that not only females, but men come out and tell me their darkest secret or whatever. And so I don't know what they tell me, like, something like, I don't know why I'm telling you this, Rodney. But they would, it's because they trust me. I say, well, that's because you trust me. I ain't going to go tell everybody in the world. I've learned out about myself being an empath. I didn't know what an empath was, but, everything was making sense, But, that's why Jason Caraway, he called me, like I told you about that already, he called me an angel. I said, I ain't no angel. He ended up dying, but, Silverdale, I met some people. I began realizing after my psychiatrist told me I was an empath, like, man, wow, it's just beginning to make sense to me now. Uh, I think I got to the part where we want to talk about black people, like the video is cut off or something. I've been in Silverdale many times. Back when it was Silverdale, it's Hamilton County Jail right now. But I like telling stories. It's just something. It's spiritual to me. I've never been racist. there's something I want to get. I think I'm getting closer to it now. I remember, you know, oh man, I lost it. Being an empath. I'm good. Yeah, okay, it's coming back to me. I am good at helping people. Empaths are good. They're good listeners, and it is supernatural. They have the ability. It's angelic. It really is. Uh, you know, uh, talks about Jason called me an angel. But anyway, it's something about Silver Day. Oh, don't lose it, Rodney. Ah, uh, you know, oh yeah, I can't hear it. Come back. All right, so I told you about Matt Dent. He shot somebody. He was in a gang, and he was like a little kid, man. To me, he looked up to me. But it's weird. That's why I was trying to get spit out from the video before this one, or the first one about being an empath, but about gangs. What I've learned, knowing having gang members as friends, only one or two on the street, Matt Dent, I've noticed that about when I'm trying to spit out. I've noticed that about gang members. They're all like kids, man. They still got that kid mentality, in them, and they'll shoot somebody, man, if they're commanded to or something. That's cause I've actually had pretty much roughly the same childhood as gang members did. You understand? They grew up with having their mothers had to ship out of them, or it could be worse than that. Their brother killed somebody on the street, with a gun. They had a rough childhood. They didn't have it easier or decent like normal people. I'm glad that I didn't have the notion to join a gang and kill people, whatever, to get points. But going back when I'm trying not to lose place. I want to get out as an example. Oh yeah, or be, one of the. Okay, I done discussed Matt Dent. He's my good buddy. He's in a gang. Oh yeah, I've noticed about gang members that. Yeah, that's crazy, man. They kill people, especially people they're commanded to do, But I've noticed this about gang members, man. They're like kids, man. They're like children. From where you get friends with them, like they're like kids. They're cool. Yeah, they laugh like they like me because I'm funny, or I'm wild, weird, cool way, or whatever. And I have no fear. They like me to the cat, I am unique from other people, you understand? But I'm also cool, like, I got that aspect. I've worn them in a million, and they love that about, they respect that about me. I only have no fear, but I'm just me. I am one in a million. God bless, I thank God, man. Having that ability. And also, something I want to spit out. Okay, I don't think I'll do it this time. I told you about Matt Dent. They're like kids, Hey, when he was telling me, he was, I found out, I didn't know he was in a gang member until later. And I said, what? You in no gangs? Yeah. And he told me how he killed somebody, man. He's like a little kid telling me, like I hit a home run, or I, whatever, did this, and in that aspect. And he said, I just went up and killed him, and he's laughing at me. I said, man, that ain't funny, man. Anyway, yada yada. Fast forward some more. I want to tell you another story about another gang member, in the aspect of how I originally said that they're like children, man. They'll kill somebody, but I've noticed the gang members, very few that I've met, they're like kids, man. Matt Dent, I explained one of them. Great. We was good friends. He's like, I seen the child in him, man, and he looked up to me. And another time, I went to jail for something, for not paying. It was something I forgot. Anyway, I think it was the last time I was in Silverdale. Well, actually, it wasn't the last time. It's Hamilton County Jail now, and I went in there had for not paying for my speeding ticket. That's crazy. Anyway, going back, you know, well, yeah, speaking of example, gang members. Okay, I met a lot of them in Silverdale. The same thing. They all were like kids, man. And they looked up to me and said, Rooster, you straight up. They had to hit the fist. You straight up, I don't want to go back to jail or Silverdale, but by the grace of God, I am very thankful. It gives me tangles thinking about it. That I don't want to go back to jail or many prisons, Silverdale, but I'm telling you, I've had the most amazing episodes that I thank God so much that it ain't that I want to go back. It's angelic to me. You understand? I've been in there so many times, back when at Silverdale. I worked on the chain gang, the real chain gang. Well, we worked, they had us blasting dynamite up on the mountain, blowing the mountain up. Boom! There was only two guys on the jackhammer drilling holes in the rock to put dynamite in it. I was one of them. And this one other guy, he's a black dude, had a big old belly. He put his belly on it and hold that jackhammer down. I just love telling these stories, man. And what they do, after we get through drilling the holes, they put like 3 sticks of dynamite in there and run a wire to the truck and hook it up to the barrier and say, fire in the hole! Boom! The whole these big old boulders rock, man. Pow! We on a chain gang for real, man. I like telling these stories, man. Anyway, but that's why I was Silverdale, at that time, whatever. And okay, I just like telling them stories. Anyway, that's one. That ain't the main ones I want to say. I think I had something on I was wanting to tell when I was Silverdale was being an empath and oh yeah, gang members. Okay, here's another gang member. He looked up to me like a child. Okay, this is Silverdale. A lot of times they're overcrowded, and this is one of them times. But not only was it overcrowded, I was in one of the dorms, and subsequently, my girlfriend's or ex-girlfriend, it was my girlfriend's ex-husband was in Silverdale. He wasn't in our dorm. There's like 3 dorms. They got them like together, and he was in the dorm straight across. And he started out, he's pointing at me. He had 2 guys beside him pointing at me, and he knows I whip his ass. And he ain't no telling what he's saying to them guys, like, he's a punk, man. Anyway, and I said, man, I'm going to end up not getting mad and me do something, And I actually, and he knows I ain't afraid of him, That's why he's in another dorm over there, because he knows that I can't get close to him. Anyway, it aggravated me so much. Every time, I'd be, he had pool tables back then. And he'd be out there, he knows damn well if I got close to him, I'd knock his fucking ass out. Anyway, it still got on my nerves, though, especially being an empath. And I told one of the black, she was like a captain. They had female guards in there, of course, those of you ever been in Silverdale. Anyway, she was like the main, she's like a sergeant, kind of like, a guard. I told her, I said, Susie Q, I forgot her name. She goes, you gonna have to, I told her, you gonna have to, move me to another dorm, or me and that guy over there. It's going to happen. They're going to make it where we're going to get close to her. I'm going to knock his fucking ass the fuck out. And she know I was serious. I said, you're going to have to move me to another dorm or somewhere else. Because they had not only them dorms, but they got stuff everywhere. But they was all full. And she goes, well, she said she could. She said, well, you'd have to go to Bravo, though. See, Bravo, that's where the gang members are. Nothing but gang members. It's a smaller, it ain't a big dorm. It's just like, you know, two bunk beds in each room. Like she said she could, but she said, you'd have to go to Bravo. I said, I don't give a fuck. Uh, you know, and actually that's where I got, I said, all right, cool. That's where I saw all gang members, nothing but, only gang members, and it's smaller and it's like bunk beds. There's only like, uh, I don't know, 16, 16 bunk beds, 16 beds means 16, only 16 people can be in there. And it's usually gang members that are rough, the meanest ones. I didn't use shit. And getting too close to the main point, every roommate I had, see, it ain't like a whole dorm. It's a two bunk bed in these little, they lock down. That's where they're gang members, and anyway, going back to how relating to Matt Dent, my other friend who was in the gang, and I told you, if you remember, if you watched, to me, from my experience with gang members, they're all like kids, man. And they'll be, when they tell the stories of killing people, they're like little kids. Like, say, like, somebody, like, normal people, like, I hate that rock with that tree 20 feet away, man. Telling their friends that, well, these are, that's why I'm trying to get the aspect of gang members. They're like, they'll be talking to somebody they consider a friend, like I said of Matt Dent, or like I said, I caught this big fish, They're like little kids, except it's talking about killing people. Matt Dent, he's like, I just went up and shot him, like he's proud, like, hey, I caught me a big fish. And he's smiling, man, looking at me, looked up. Matt Dent looked up to me. And so is this other guy I'm about to tell you about. He's a black dude. He was in a gang member. They're like children, man. Anyway, I told Matt Dent, that ain't funny, man. He was like proud of it, like he caught a fish, big fish, man. Okay, fast forward. I've been talking 30 minutes on this. The same aspect, man. I'm telling you, I consider the blessing it's supernatural, man. Everything I say, I ain't trying to show off. I'm just telling you, I consider it a blessing, angelic. I don't want to go through that life again, go to jail again. I'm just telling you things in my life that I consider angelic by the grace of God, and I'm very thankful. Again, I ain't saying this to be tough, I'm just telling y'all, as a Christian, But anyway, fast forward to this one, with the same aspect of my buddy, Matt Dent, who was in the gang. This guy was a black dude. He had dreadlocks. Hence, he was in the dorm where the meanest, the killers in Bravo. And she said, you had to go to Bravo. I said, I don't give a shit, And actually, I liked it because it's more peaceful, but you're in there with the meanest, the gang members. Anyway, fast forward, every roommate I get is gang. But anyway, I'm trying to fast forward, to this one guy. He had dreadlocks. Again, as the aspect of how I've come to know, gang members. They're like kids, man. They really are. They will kill somebody, but I noticed they got the mentality of a kid. That it's like, that's why I can relate to them, man. It's, wow, I've learned so much by the grace of God. I'm kind of like that a little bit, but I ain't, didn't go that far. I mean, but I kind of got that mentality of a child still, but I'm bipolar. I got mental disorders. I'm telling you, I'm glad I didn't decide to join a gang, but I do got that inside me. You understand? I'm a Christian, though. I don't never kill nobody because of being a gang. I won't kill nobody unless I have to, and that would be rare, if that. Anyway, uh, you know, anyway, So yeah, in Bravo, I think that's what that one was. You got, it's a whole lot peaceful. I'm glad that I did decide that. And I've had a couple of roommates, all of them gang members, but this one I like. That's why I want to hurry up, fast forward to this one, because this dude, he's a short guy. He's in the gang. He's a black dude, and he had dreadlocks, and uh, you know, he reminded me a lot of Jason Caraway, friend wise, This guy, he's a gang member, and he looked up to me, man. He loved me, man. I remember this. I don't remember. My memory's bad, but I'm glad I remember the memory. Just the aspect of by the grace of God and by the world, looking at the world in many ways. I remember this one of these things. He goes, "Hey, Rooster," excuse my belly and all that. He goes, he came up to me. He said, "Hey, Rooster, man." He said, y'all know as a professional. He goes, "Hey, Rooster, man." I said, "What's up, man?" He goes, "Hey, man, we was talking about," he's bringing a conversation of, he told me, about how he killed somebody, But he's telling me, he came up to me like, I knew there was something different about him. He had that smile in his eyes. He goes, "Hey, Rooster, man." I said, "What up, man?" He goes, "Hey, man." He's telling me, he's telling me that, gang members, if they get in trouble, like, get caught up in a web with gangs, if they get in trouble and need help, they say, "Hey, man, if he gets in a slam or, get where it's, because, man," he said that he's got a call if he gets jumped or if he comes into a circle of other gang members or whatever. He goes, "Hey, man," you know what, man?" He said he's got a call. Like, he's telling the truth, though. He's like, "Hey, man," he said he got a call when he's in trouble. I said, "Oh, really?" He goes, "Yeah." He goes, "Scoo!" That's when it was something, if he feels like something's about to happen. And he goes, I said, "Oh, really?" Yeah, he's really, gang members are proud of discussing their, you know what I'm saying? It's kind of like, again, like fishing. "Hey, I went down there and I put on a plastic worm, man, about 12 inches from the slip knot, and threw it out there, man, called bass, And you know what I'm saying? It was me and the men talking, and he's like, "Hey, Bruce, you know what?" He goes, like if he gets into some trouble, he goes, "I got this call, man, about that, man, He said, "I got a call," and he goes, "Screw it!" And he said, people, they come running to help him. And here's what I always remember. I said, "Yeah, man." So I do too, man. I say, man, when I get in trouble, these redneck or some bad neighbors or something, man, I call too, man. He knew why he knew I was headed. When what? "Yeah, Rooster, what up, man? Rooster, what up, man?" I said, he know I was something. He knew I was something up the plane around. He goes, "What up, Rooster, man? What's up?" He had these dreadlocks. I said, "Man, I got called too, man." And his was "Scoot up," and he that little kid said, "What? Okay, oh yeah, Rooster, what up, man?" And I did like an Indian. "Yeah, man, I get in trouble, man." I went, "Oi, oi!" I think my neighbor heard that. Man, he's like a little kid. He's like laughing, man, Rooster, you straight up, man. I always remember that, man, by the grace of God, man. Again, and that's exactly how I did, like an Indian, "Oi, oi!" And, I'm telling you guys, speaking as a Christian, by the grace of God, I don't ever want to go back to Silverdale. I'm just telling you truthfully. The times I've been in there, I've been there, I don't want to tell how many times, but, I've been in there back when it was Silverdale and worked on the chain gang. And I could tell you stories. I'd write a book, man. I don't want to, I would, of course, never want to go back, but I'm telling you, I've had some beautiful things happening there, angelic, that I'm very thankful. Thank God. You know, I was not only working on Jank Tank, I was a dishwasher in there, man. I could tell you stories that make you laugh and make you go, wow. And, you know, it's weird. You know, I'm just saying, as a Christian, angelic, by the grace of God, man, I could write a book. I might even write a book. It's just a beautiful thing, man. You know. But anyway, yeah. It seemed like something else. I was wanting. I done forgot. Wow. But anyway, yep. Uh, Got carried away. Talk seemed like there's something else I want to tell y'all. I done forgot. Anyway, what do you think about it, Angel? She sighed a lot. See where my keys at. Black Beauty sleep?
Yeah, I was asleep. I got to listen to you over there rambling on, but it's cool though. It's cool.
Well, good. But seems like I'm missing something to say or something. Let me think here. There's something. Oh yeah, here. I can show y'all this, man. I guess. Man, here. 8 out of 10 times when I buy scratch off tickets, I try not to, get carried away, but every time, I win every time, but there's some I won, and I win decent too, man. This one right here is 12 and 30, and that might be just an average. I won $2 on that one. Wait a minute, I won on the back too. Look, $1. That one, this one, that's the ticket. One of these are real good though. Hold on. That's a ticket, $22.40. I win. I tell you, man. I don't spend a whole lot of money. I just buy just a few, man. I would do real good. Look, 5 times. That's 10. $10. $10. Look, $15. 26, 17. Anyway, I tell you, that time I'm lucky. I've always been lucky. Anybody can ask anybody most of my life. Right, you lucky, you Milford. Because I've won off every radio station, pretty much. Many times on KZ106. I won concert tickets. I won everything that can be possible to win off radio stations. I won them off all the stations, man. Won backstage passes to Bartley Crew off KZ106. I won many concert tickets off KZ106. They know me personally. Kelly McCoy and Scott Chase, and I know every radio station DJs, every one of them. And I won off of every one of them. Won off of every one of them. I won Rock 105. Boner Smith, Randy Boner Smith, God rest his soul. I won the Metallica sanitarium bus. Man, I know Randy Boner Smith real good. He know me. Anyway, I won off Sunny 92 FM. I won off every radio station, man. I won stuff off the news channels. I got on news channels. But anyway, yeah, I'm very thankful. Of course, I like to toot my own horn about it. I am, blessed. I guess lucky. Where I've had buddies. Say you're a lucky MFer, man. It is what it is. But I got a box somewhere. It's full of stuff like the receipt or something I've won off of. Some of them I didn't there did go turn in. Money. won cash off 92. I got a whole box full, man. uh, the concert tickets. Won concert tickets, man. You know, winning backstage passes to Motley Crue. I got pictures of that. Hang out with Motley Crue, man. But yeah, man. Man, I've seen the best of the best. Man, Iron Maiden. 2, 3 times. 80 theatrical, very theatrical, man. You name it, man. Man, I've been to, man, I ain't been to a concert in a while, miss going. I'm gonna go Red Band stuff too, man. But yeah, I'm just rambling on, I'm rambling on simultaneously trying to think there's something that I want to tell you more, whether it be more incitement or whatever, but, can't remember, anyway, but yeah, yeah, man. It makes me, I know that's why I'm hesitate because I was something very important that I done said what is important to me about, my friends, or one of them's a friend, a gang member, and meeting more. And that's why I tell you, I like getting the message out too, It ain't that I'm too, well, I mean, that's part of me, like, yeah, but it ain't like, like going around strutting, like more the aspect of more other guys would, it ain't like that at all. I'm telling you, as a Christian, angelic wise, my, aspect of, I'm proud of who I am. I'm very thankful, by the grace of God, that the people I met, the unique ways or whatever, there's some sad ways, but it's, my life ain't perfect. Had a rough childhood, but I knew God as a child, thanks to my grandmother. But I'm just saying, I love God. I ain't perfect, but I'm also thankful of the aspects of my life, even though it was rough growing up as a child. But I'm just telling you, as a human being, spiritually wise, it's very fulfilling to me as a human being, and thankful by the grace of God, even though through hard times, speaking as a Christian, I'm very thankful. What I'm trying to spit out is the beauty, even through hard times, there's something unique about it, that special comes from it, to where it's, kind of like a hell, heaven and hell. It is. Hell, it's this bad party life, but simultaneously, it's angelic. You don't want to try and spit out, but I love God, man. I love life. There's somebody listening to the radio outside, but I enjoy very much expressing my parts of life, especially if it's unique or rare, which I do have a subtle proudness of it as a man, but I'm humble though, and I think I present myself, my spirit, enough for people like you and anybody to know that, hey, this guy, he's not no redneck punk, trying to show off. This guy's a decent fella, Uh, when I say redneck, to me, I like telling people that too. I don't consider myself a redneck, as people call it. I consider myself a hillbilly, but I am a redneck, meaning I'm a true redneck, meaning the original defined nature of a redneck is who what? A redneck is a man, is a hard ass worker out there tilling the fields. And he got a redneck, he out there working in that hot sun out there. Willie Nelson out there, he tilling the field, run that plow out there, true redneck, that's a true redneck right there, man. Hard worker, work your ass off out in the sun. You're not no punk. You understand? I say rednecks today are punks. Like to start trouble, instigate, whatever, man. I'm a true redneck. I'm a hard worker. I'm a hillbilly. And mountain man, whatever. But what else? Redneck. What something else though? I ain't racist. I've never been racist, man. Speaking as a Christian, we're all human, right? I don't care who you are, white, black, yellow, American, Russian, Chinese. We're all human, man. Every human was raised up from sperm to child, middle age, old age, and die. We all live and die as the same being, or I almost say creature, but a lot of us can be creatures. By the grace of God, I'm speaking as a Christian. I love God. I'm not ashamed to admit, that I'm a Christian. I mean, I believe there is, a higher power, Almighty. I believe that Jesus Christ died on the cross, for sins. I love telling stories, how I see them. I can ramble on and on and on. Some of y'all probably heard me say, a lot of people believe in aliens and ghosts. And a lot of people, they want to believe, I seen an alien too. And ghosts. Oh, yeah. I love telling my story. Aliens, Sasquatches, aliens, and I should have paused this one. This is going about an hour. But I wish I'd put it like 5 parts. It's still that good, because ain't nobody like, damn, I done fucked myself up, man. I want everybody to hear what I want to say, man. So, damn it. It was big. Y'all probably stopped it at most people stopped at like 10 minutes, or they might have went and got him something to drink, eat, and came back. He's still talking, and I'm mad at myself on that. But anyway, I'll tell you another time, man. God bless you.